All right, so our next park build here is going to be a Jurassic Park San Diego theme park build where we're going to be like conceptually in an alternate timeline where Ludlow's plans for San Diego have actually succeeded, and we're going to have like a limited amount of dinosaurs. We're going to try to like sustain a park off of that and then breed up some additional animals until we get to 5 stars. We'll see if it works or not. I honestly don't know if this is beatable with that situation. We're going to try and minimize the amount of remodeling we do, like the existing layout here. And I've already made a few little minor changes. So here's the share code, and that's the park name, Jurassic Park San Diego Concept Art Remake, if you want to use it yourself. So if we look at it here, this is like the bird's eye view. So we've got a good selection of starting paddocks, but they are pretty compact. So we do need to have animals that can survive well in here. So one thing I've done is I've gone ahead and configured some of these paddocks to actually have gates to get into them for proper full gameplay. And I've got some hatcheries set up here for our captured Isla Sorna dinosaurs. And what we're going to do is we're going to synth a batch for each animal without upgraded success chance. And that's going to be kind of a random roll for how many animals we start with. So there may be populations that are low, there may be populations that are high. And for certain animals that were captured specifically as juveniles, we're going to breed animals in the park to make the juveniles, sell the adults, and then we'll start the park build with like a juvenile T-Rex, right? For Junior that was captured, that kind of thing. This is the square arid map is what this is built on. So I got to spend some time here getting all that set up until we're ready for like the starting scenario. So let's do that. So in addition to the loot box style generation of our starting animals, we're going to also do the genomes as kind of loot boxy by just putting 25% on a range of different traits and then seeing what we get. And then for a lot of the larger animals, we kind of need humility or this park doesn't really work. So rather than like redesign the enclosures, we're going to breed everything with maximized humility for the really compact park build. So that's just an example of kind of what we're doing. Now, the only way this park works with certain species only having juveniles is if we specifically turn off social requirements. If we leave social requirements on and we have an orphan Tyrannosaurus, he will be at like 20% comfort and perpetually attack the fence. And there is no way to take care of him until he grows to an adult. It's just not an option because this game's a little silly sometimes. So we just kill social requirements altogether. We'll leave it off for the entire park build. It'll make dealing with Mamenchisaurus a lot easier because for some reason, the baby Mamenchisaurs need 4 adults, even though the adults don't need 4. And having 4 adult Mamenchisaurus is like optimistically a long-term end goal. So it just makes more sense to just turn it off altogether. Yeah, the social requirements are kind of like some of them are interesting, but like half of the social requirements are nonsense in the game anyway. So for this park build, it's staying off. So after much work prepping here on the stream, we're ready to start the park build proper. These are our juveniles. They're all currently sedated. Imagine they're being flown from Sorna and not just sedated out here in the woods for some reason. We have a pair of juvenile Mamenchisauruses, one here, one over here. We have 1 Brachiosaurus. So we can't breed Brachiosaurs. Same with Tyrannosaurus. We just have Junior, the T-Rex from Lost World. So these guys are our clock, right? Once the Tyrannosaur and the Brachiosaur die of old age, we're kind of screwed because we can't get them back ever. So the goal essentially is to breed the other animals up enough to get 5 stars before these guys die. And maybe if they do die, we can still win, but it might be more of a slog then with some big ticket animals missing. And then we've got a juvenile Stego, a juvenile Triceratops, and a juvenile Pachycephalosaurus, because those are the 3 juvenile animals we actually see in the Lost World. So I thought it was fitting for us to start with a juvenile of each of those 3 species. And yeah, the reason we're doing the juveniles for the sauropods is the adults would be too big conceptually to capture and bring to the mainland. But the babies they could capture. All of our other animals are in the hatcheries right now. Essentially what we've done is we've maxed Humble, we've done 25% for everything else, and then we've rolled to see what we get for viable egg clutches. So we've got 2 Albertosaurus. We rolled the max on these guys. I haven't looked at any of these yet, so now we get to see what's in the loot box. Small, appetite, nocturnal, humble, social, strong, aggressive. Quench, long live, humble, social, strong, intolerant. Seems like a good pair. Here's how we're going to do this. The first animal is always going to be a female. The second is always going to be a male. And then we're going to do female, female, male in that order. So female, male, female, female, male, female, female, male. Like that. Forever until we got all the animals, configured here. So these are our Trespasser Albertosauruses. That's why we have Albertosaurus in this park. We're kind of mixing canons a little bit, but I think that makes the park build funner. So we'll take and hatch those. And Kylosaurus, we only rolled one, so we won't be able to breed these. So we only get one female Anki in the park as well. This was just a random chance between, I believe, 1 and 3. And we just lost that die roll. So we just get the 1. Carnotaurus is 3 out of 4. Female, quenched, fit, long-lived, humble, strong, aggressive. We get a male Toro, aggressive, quenched, humble. And we get another default female. So no Demon Carno, unfortunately. That is just what the roles happen to be. I gave these guys 2 sets of cosmetics for male and female, which is why we had Toro and Demon. And we're just taking what we get, right? Following the pattern. So these guys kind of suck. We did not win a lot of the roles for good genes. We got 1 good one and 2 bad ones. Compies, 6 out of 6. Female, male, female, female, male, female. Okay. Great. Great. Fine. Fine. Great. Pretty good. Yeah, okay. Seems all right. Seems like a decent squad to start with. Dryosaurus, coming from the novel. That's the motivation for Dryo being in the park. Oh, and I should say Anki's in the park because I wanted a Thyreophora and that wasn't Stegosaurus to go on the roster, so we're doing Anki. Even though if you follow the DPG lore, he wasn't cloned until 1999, we're ignoring that. I actually don't agree with the DPG lore personally. I don't think it's correct, so that's fine. So we got a resilient female, long-lived, humble, accommodating male, and a tolerant female. That is hot trash. That is, I mean, the male is pretty okay, but the rest of this is shit. Gallimimus, skittish, 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 and skittish. Female, male, female, female. Humble, tolerant. I mean, yeah, those are decent gene spreads. Herrera, my precious, because it was in Jurassic Park, so it was probably on Sorna. That's enough of an excuse for me to put one of my favorite animals in the park. You don't own me. I can do what I want. Small app, humble, quenched, humble, defensive, nocturnal, humble. Not great genes either. Hypsilophodon, again, on Isla Sorna in the novel. Good enough for me, and a chance to use one of the DLC animals in this park. 4 is max roll here for this. We actually re-rolled this. We had 1 initially, but for a small animal like this, I wanted us to be able to breed it for sure. So I re-rolled this. I had planned initially to re-roll this one if it did roll just a single egg. Because the small animals we definitely need to be able to breed to make this park work. Female, male, female, female. Quenched, long-lived, quenched, fertile. I mean, that seems fine. That's not great. It's kind of bad. Hatch it. Iguanodon. This is coming from the Jurassic Park 3 young adult spin-off novels were about Eric Kirby's time on the island. In that novel, he encounters Iguanodon. So it was on Sorna, I guess, if you believe that that's canon, which it isn't. 1 female, 1 male. Humble, social, humble, tolerant, hot trash with negative traits. Cool, expected. That was my best attempt at matching a skin for the male to match the film canon one. Maiasaura. Maiasaura is motivated by, again, the novel, but also actually film canon if you ignore the DPG and instead go by the Lost World props, which includes a fact sheet for this guy in Roland Tembo's little catalog. So personally, I think this is film canon, but it's been retconned if you believe in marketing. So, quenched, humble, tolerant, social, humble, compatible, small app, resilient, humble, tolerant. Seems okay. Not amazing. Next hatchery, we have Microceratus. We know this was on the island per Dominion. Also a novel species that was on the island, so that makes some sense. One female and one male is all we got to start with. Hopefully they like each other. Small app, social compatible, long live resilient. Not great. Chasmosaurus. I was originally going to use Styrac for this park build, but chat suggested we use Chasmo because it was in the Kenner toy line, and I like that idea. Because Styrac was just more nepotism of me using my favorite dinosaurs because I can. Whereas this actually has motivation because Styracosaurus is canon to the novel, but it's actually never encountered in any of the novels. It's only mentioned on the population tallies, and we never actually saw it, so this is the better animal to use here. Humble social male. Yeah, whatever. Canonically, there are 4 different hadrons in Sorna, which is actually pretty realistic. Yeah, I actually kind of like that. I think that's good. Your girlfriend says hi, Supernova? Well, hello. You could tell her I say hi too. Parasaurolophus. 1 female, quenched humble. 1 male, humble social. 97 skin, and then an attempt to match the 97 skin for a male. I think that does a decent job. Pachycephalosaurus, 4. Female, male, female, female. Humble social, strong defensive male is a lot. Seems pretty good. I hate the Pachycephalosaurus skins in this game. I really wish these looked more like the Lost World ones. 3 adult Stegosauruses. We get a proper Lost World one for the females. The male, I've done the best I can to make one that still looks stylistically similar with the variant. Skittish, humble. Ooh, we got an aggressive. So, do I take this? This is a problem, right? This is exactly the kind of loot box problem that could change how we build the park. I think these have to cohab with Iggy. I think we can't take this one. So I think this one gets sent back to Isla Sorna. I don't think we can make it work. We're already building 1 extra paddock on top of what we already have, and that is all I want to do. I don't want to build more than 1 new paddock. Triceratops. Intolerant, humble, fertile female, resilient, social male. Base this on the JP3 green and white striped Triceratops with a male. Just because this thing looks ugly no matter what, so I might as well base it on something, I guess. Really wish this was a proper variant. That would be really cool, but it's not. Oh well. And Velociraptor. We got the tiger striped Lost World Raptors. Female, male, and female. Aggressive, intolerant. Okay. Seems fine. 1 social, 2 like all of them are humble. Expected. I mean, everything is humble except for the small animals. And then if we fly across the park, actually let's not unpause until we get the animals moving. We have the aviary and the lagoon. The lagoon comes with the map. The aviary does not. This is a fun little lagoon they made here with this. This might be Evo Square's tunnel she made, honestly, that this map uses. I don't actually know. But I think it is. At least it's in the style of that like shirk tunnel thing she made. For our lagoon animal, we're using Chronosaurus. This is motivated by one of the JP3 scripts or scriptments or concepts, where this was like the animal that attacked the boat or whatever, maybe. Or maybe that's an urban rumor. I honestly don't know. Accommodating and defensive. Hot garbage. Holy. We really, really lost the loot box roll on those guys. And Pteranodon. Humble social female and our JP3 style male, using the available skins to capture the black and yellow male as best as we can. I think it's a pretty okay rendition of it. A very good male and a very good female. Honestly, humble social is about all you could really ask for. Cool. So that's our starting roster. So we got to breed those animals up into something we can actually use. I think while these eggs hatch, conceptually these animals are being flown over, I guess, from Sorna right now. That's how we'll headcanon this. We're going to have 6 carnivore pens, actually, because we're putting copies in their own pen. All right, and then let's get these guys moving. So, Junior the T-Rex goes in the arena. Let's get him some water. A little spot there. Let's get him a goat feeder. Little spot there. And then I probably need a ranger station in range. Oh, we need to turn on economy. Give me a second. All right, everything is configured. We have no money now. We're going to see if this works. If this doesn't work, we may need to actually give ourselves money, and so we have time to set up the animals properly. Actually, I probably should have waited till like the airlift was in there, but maybe it'll be fine. We can also take pictures. Brocky goes in here. Mamenchis are in here. Then I'm going to put the... Ooh, I did not change my notes. Oh, no, I did. Yeah, okay. The Packy and Shrek go together. They go into the small pen here. And then the Stego is going to go in a new pen in the back, but I think for now I have to put it somewhere else. So I think we put the Stego in here. Here come all the eggs. I think I want to get these juveniles set up maybe before I hatch too much else. Perhaps. We'll have to see. This all comes down to if we start making money, because it takes time to get these guys set up, and the more animals we release, the more money we make, but the more we have to do to get them to be happy and not break out. So,
look at this objective.
True, this is useful. This might be free. It's the only one we can actually pick. Also do have like upkeep costs kind of penalizing us. Let's get the ranger teams doing status checks. Manually. Okay. Okay, pausing. We have 100K to play with. Let's get these guys happy enough that they don't break out. And I can't even see your needs while you're in there. That's annoying. One of you, nope, we still have your status check. Okay, ground leaf. You will need tall leaf when you're an adult, so we're going to do that. Okay, theoretically they're good. We don't have your info and we don't have yours. We know you're nut. I know this. And then trike should be fiber. You end up with Pachycephalosaurus and Stegosaurus together because they hate everything else. Yeah, it kind of works either way. I was a little divided on how to approach it. But this is what I decided on in my notes. We might move them around. We'll see. Oh, shit. Yeah, open the park. Good shout. Good shout. Good shout. Good shout. I forgot that we were closed. Huge. Okay. Park open. Next. You want to get a picture of the Mamenchis here? Oh, we have his info. Okay, we need arid. He needs arid and cover. Non-native forest, Joshua tree, woodland. Let's do the Joshua trees, maybe. Because he needs other arid anyway. Oh, sparse is kind of perfect. Oh, and a meat feeder. I give him a goat. My bad. Here's your meat. Let's take back the goat. Okay, Junior is settled in with his glitched Tyrannosaurus Rex juvenile name tag there. Very fun. I actually don't know if this grows up to be the Lost World skin. That'll be interesting for us to find out. But either way, it's juvenile canonic. It's junior canonically, so in our canon at least. All right, I think starting at $0 is fine. It looks like we'll be totally fine here. Undiagnosed ailment, environmental issues, not unexpected. Probably cures itself. Needing some wetland and cover. Okay.
Asset in range.
How long will I be live for? We'll be live for maybe another 2 hours or something like that. Hour to 2 hours. Kind of depends where the park ends up, where we end up in the video. Alright, money for the Brockie. Now we need money for these guys. Status check, returning. You can check on the Stego. This should be Psychads, right? A little bit of Psychad. Okay, 300k. Let's look at these. Okay, 0 guests still. So the guests have not yet found the amenities. That might be bad. What are we doing? Okay, it's only just started going up, but it is working. How is this lone Brachiosaurus interacting with a sibling? Is it? It shouldn't be. Is that what it said when we took the picture? That's really strange if so. 58% comfort. You want leaf, I think. If I'm not mistaken. And I think wetland? Okay, Memenchis are good. Brockie's good. Recovering. Rex is good. We just gotta check these 2 guys, and then we can start releasing other animals. We had to turn that off, Martin. The only way we can do this juvenile start is to turn off social needs in Sandbox. Which sucks. I wish that we could just start with juveniles without having to completely kill the social mechanic, but that's the way the game works, unfortunately. If we smooth out this little hill here, we actually can expand their territory slightly, so I am going to do this. This is steep enough it doesn't count. I noticed this when I was testing the map initially.
Asset identified.
Hey, Torin, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Also, welcome to the stream, Martin. I didn't really welcome you here, but... You gotta go, Jeff. Thanks for coming by. I'll catch you later. Okay, happy, almost happy. You are missing a tiny bit of cover. You need just a smidge of tree. Have some... Let's do this. Just put a little bit on the edge. Okay, so that's a good start. Don't know if this is going to grow up into a Lost World Stego, but I hope so. It's the only green baby we had. So I went for it. So, are these using... Okay, 17 guests. Do I bother? I mean, I guess I could, You know what? Yeah, who cares? Let's come back to the amenities later. Let's get some more animals out. Let's release... Oh, I don't have visibility. Let's look at this. Okay. I need to research the viewing gallery at some point to get visibility on the Pteranodons. So we'll probably hold off on those. What's the one dinosaur I hope to see return in a free update? Who do I want back the most? Eoplocephalus. I want Eoplocephalus back the most. 100%. That's my hope. Let's do Chrono out. Oh yeah, what is the welfare at?
This good work is
Oh, it
going straight
finished.
on your permanent record.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
It just slowed to update.
There is no permanent record. Not one that's written down, at least.
Do I? Okay, I do have fish feeder. That's good.
Named after Kronos, king of the Titans in Greek mythology. The Kronosaurus is a suitably titanic
All right, these are our
animal.
first adults.
This is a marine
So
reptile that even a shark would think twice about confronting.
we should get nest immediately. Let's grab a scientist. We have $1 million. This is fine. Wait, was this for genetics or welfare? Genetics. Geolopterus would be really good. I don't think we see Geolopterus until we're like getting close to the Rebirth DLC time, but also he's not guaranteed to come back as DLC animal, which would suck if he didn't, but you have Lego Jurassic World? I think I played... Oh, I bought the welfare one. Aw, dude. Oh, that's okay. We'll need welfare for other stuff. That's fine. I literally looked and then went back and still got the wrong person. Faster research person, I think. Yeah. Okay. Well, I didn't really have the money for that, but it is what it is. Tylo or Megalo? Yeah, Megalo and Tylo would be alright. They're not near the top of my list personally, but they're alright. Okay, so we got visibility here with these two viewing galleries added back when. We need maintenance. Maybe we should get maintenance going here. Let's put maintenance in with the money we have. That way this stuff breaking down doesn't punish us. So, maintenance facility, I think I can put it conceptually outside. I think like a maintenance garage being out here by the parking lot makes sense. So I think we'll do this. And then I'll redo the path when we take out the hatcheries later. As well. So, yeah. We could do the dinosaur encounter, but we should get that treated. Actually, yeah. Set up the posts. Before I forget. Okay, so. Let's start in the back and work our way forward. So maintenance post like here. And then one somewhere in this mess. One like right here. This spot's a little rough. Pretty cramped. Give out Neurognathus luck skins? That could be interesting. Maybe we just put this like right here. Hopefully the Jeep can still get past it. We need one on this side. Okay, we put it here. That one doesn't fit for some reason. Oh, it does right there. Come on. Perfection. Now we need there, so I think we do like one here in the woods and one here in the woods. And that should cover everything. For the maintenance team skins, we're using Jurassic Park. Obviously. One, two, 3, and 4. Okay, so we get that set up. Let's get some other animals out here. Trike. Trike is ready. We can get Triceratops. Microcasmo, Para. Let's do Para. Maya, maybe? I'm just trying to, like, min-max which ones we can get set up cleanly first, as well as ones that already have visibility to prioritize. That's kind of the idea here. Alberto, Enki, Carno, Compi, Dryo. I might do Compi? Yeah, let's do Compi. So we're going to put the Compis in their own little side pen, like right here. Which, if I'm not mistaken, barely covered by the one hotel the map starts with. So we do want some sort of other visibility thing here. Maybe the Compis aren't a good idea for a starter, because they're barely visible. Yeah, luck skins are something they could really expand easily. They just kind of haven't. Let me look at my notes. We could do Carnotaurus. Let's do Carno. That goes by the hotel. So we can start these out in this pen. Okay, and then we need to expand that pen. So I am going to expand these northern paddocks beyond the base concept of the area here. I believe, yeah, this has some decorative trees I'm going to clear out as well. These affect territory. They actually block territory, which sucks. And then we're just going to grab the... Ooh, we don't have the matching tier of fence. So I guess our annex will be low security. And we'll upgrade it at some point to match later. I probably don't want to block this, because this would block access for the jeeps. What are we doing on cash? 462. That's probably okay. Alright, that's our Carnotaurus annex. We let that build, and then we take down the intervening barrier. You just finished the Lost World? We've only started the Lost World. Well, San Diego.
Triceratops to the park. Asset in transit. Transit has commenced.
Alright, ground nests are done. Lagoon nests are done. Let's get the... Wait. They are not done. Probably not going to do that right away. Income tax is on. Let's clear this. Okay, we need ranger stations here too. So let's put a ranger post maybe here. Maybe not. Can I sneak one in over here? Nope. Wait. That probably works with compies, right? That's probably close enough that the ranger will check this pen, I think. And then, can I do, like, maybe one in each of the side pens? Like, one here, and then, like, one here. Wait, why does this have 3 ranger teams? This is not allowed. This is legal. I can't even remove this? Okay, we just don't use the 3rd ranger team. That's cheating. It shouldn't be there. Okay. And then we need ranger team, station. We need one here. So I probably just put it like here, and that covers 3 paddocks. Hopefully, properly. And then one... Oh no, this one's covered from there. Okay. Ranger team to here and here. And then we need a gate on the Carno pen, which we put in about there. Across from the other gate, which is not in. Across from the other gate. Okay. That has a gate. That has a gate. These all have gates. So this pen needs a gate. This pen needs a gate. We have to do that still before we use those. We got to remember that. If we forget, we can mess up. Put ourselves in an awkward spot. All right. You want fiber and nut. We'll just splatter a little bit in there. Parasaur is missing wetland. So wetland with the cover for the Brachy is probably the way to go. Okay. Your comfort is down because now you have an adult. Okay. Goat feeder for the Carnos. Why aren't we using the JP gates? Good question. We should use the JP gates, except for the fact that it removes the amount of space we can use. Because they're just a little too fat, you see? So, using the world gates is a convenience thing for minimizing the amount of space we lose to making gates work. That is actually a specific choice. That is not me just mistaking and using the wrong gate.
I mean, at least the dinosaurs are fighting each other rather than us. But even so, I
Oh,
don't
this is
like to
also
see it.
neat. I think these guys are contained by this fence, this barrier here, but their territory does expand beyond it, which is interesting because theoretically you could cheese these guys into a tiny little spot because their territory just wouldn't recognize that they're trapped, which is quite exploitable, like potentially incredibly exploitable. Because this means you could have like a little wedge of visibility and you could just make it so they can't leave that little wedge and just keep them penned in and they would still have a whole arc around it. Don't understand why the gates aren't recolorable. Yeah, they probably should be.
This
It is a
animal
weird
a
one.
Classic predator. The Carnotaurus can move fast, has an excellent sense of smell, and is willing to sink its teeth into anything or anyone.
All right, arid and wetland. So we have grassland, we have soil, arid soil, arid soil. I think we use the arid grassland is probably the best looking one. And then we need some wetland as well, so we'll put some bog in maybe around the water, something like that. All right, and let's get in. Okay, so I think we're gonna not do breeding plans. I'm gonna try and do this with natural breeding only. You weren't kidding with the park starting at 4 stars. Yeah, it's this park concept might be a little too ambitious in the sense of having too many starting animals. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I figured it would be a pretty quick one. Large nest. That's what I was looking for there. I'm probably not going to bother getting like other custom nests for the park build either. We'll just use the default ones here.
Transporting asset.
Okay, more paras are on the ground. Trikes, 72%. Missing cover. And a lot of fiber. Okay, I took away some of your cover. I do apologize. All right. Juvenile Pachycephalosaurus still happy here. We need to get his parents out, or well, his substitute parents out at some point. Welcome to the stream, Rogan. Okay, so I think we got everything out that's coming out, right? Looks like it. We should put some nests in here. Are these both... medium, and you are presumably also medium. Medium. Hidden from guests for Para. So the corner makes a lot of sense. Okay, we'll put in one nest. Actually, let's put in two. Let's just put like one in each corner or something. If the well, that's the ranger post. If the Maiasaura don't care, then we have one nest that's kind of preferential for Maya. Oops, that's a large. I didn't do a large over there, right? I don't think so. You love Eddie Carr's death? It's a pretty iconic one. I think this is a fine enough spot. Let's also do a little terrain smoothing here, just so that the terrain isn't too restrictive. I do want to keep this walkway flat. Aesthetically, if the fence is not, you know, going up and down, it looks better. So the fence looks a little janky when it's on multiple terrain levels. Okay, so they can breed. Trike breeding. Trikes. Medium nest. Transport rating. Medium amenity. Let's do guests. Those other ones require us to do things that maybe we can't. Species isolation for trikes. So the trikes probably won't breed. I mean, it's only yellow, so there's still a chance. We'll put it in. We'll see what happens. Maybe it's blocked altogether. That's part of the challenge, right? Maybe we do have to do breeding programs to get past some of the other restrictions. That can be like a stage 2 project, I think. We got some weird territory hiccups over here. Just unsteepen that wall a little bit. Don't really need all that water anyway. And then, yeah, they can't breed. Carnos are at 96 because we did land another one in here. Let's put a little water over here to try and encourage them to move between the two sides. We don't want them to cluster up on this side. We want them walking back and forth. Do we really want more than 3 Triceratops? Perhaps not. Hard to say. You gotta go, Torn? Okay, catch you later. Dieter's death is pretty iconic. It is kind of a death that's borrowed from the novel, which is not a bad thing. Okay, Anki. We only have one of these. We might as well get him out right away. We're going to put him in with the Memenchis. So there's our Lonesome George. Gali, Herrera, Hypsilophodon. Let's do the Hipsies. These are going in the petting zoo area back here. We actually... Whoa, did I click down on one? It sounded like I clicked a thing. Can I cancel this? Yes. I don't know if I actually clicked if that would... stop it. All right. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's get some water in there real quick before I forget. Okay, sometimes it just makes sounds. Sometimes the game just sounds like you've clicked a thing. Do I think Trike, JP1, and Paradominion can become their own variant someday? That is honestly near the top of the list of the things I want. JP1 Trike and Dominion Para variant. Like, please give me these. The Dominion Para is one of my favorite franchise designs, honestly. And the JP1 Trike is so much better than the Jurassic World one. All right, micros to the petting zoo. My hot take is that Nick Van Owen should be the villain of the Lost World, because he's the one who whose actions result in the most deaths. Velociraptor. We're not going to release these yet.
To welcome a Hypsilophodon to the park. transit.
Let's check the, no, we should check the amenities, honestly, just afterwards. Alan's a good one, for sure. Alright, do I want to do... I think I want to do the dryos in the petting zoo. So we'll put them over there, too. Ooh, salmonella. Oh, that was from the petting zoo. Yeah. We don't need to deal with that right now. Okay, dryos to the petting zoo. Let's get these animals sorted out before we put anything else in here. Anki is down. You need specifically ground fruit.
Delivery confirmed.
You'll find your water and you're good to go. This was a JP3 Anki. Yes. The only one we will ever have. So the Stego I want to make a new pen for before we release the adults. This is going to be the Herrera pen, I think. Oh, Myosoras lost their fiber. I must have replaced it, maybe? Or maybe that one had higher needs. That one might have been a worse one. What are you missing? Ground leaf. Okay, Carnos are good. We got Hipsy on the ground. Hipsy needs some cover, some ground leaf, some wetland. So let's do that for cover and wetland. We might want some actual wetland. That might be better. And some ground leaf. Could put them with Brocky. Maybe. I kind of wanted to sort of balance the herbivore enclosures rather than like stack up too much in any one. We'll see. We'll see how it works out. All right, now we're just waiting for everything to get landed in here and make sure they're settled in. We can probably go ahead and slap in some small nests. Away from other nests. Okay, so we do like one here. And then we do like one in the other corner. Micros need some pasture, and a storm has approached the island. Some fiber. Some pasture. Storm. Do we have shelters, actually? We do. But we need more. So maybe it's time for us to look at some of that. So we want a shelter over there along the rock face. We want one on the front. I'm okay with putting it like inside the rock if it looks like it's actually built into the wall. If there's like a gap, kind of. This tree really doesn't look like it's supposed to be here, huh? Let's, yeah, do that. I might have actually put that there when I was doing the redesign on the enclosure. Yeah, so these are all like really clipped in. I don't really... I could put it here. Yeah, we could see if we could see the entrance, I'm happy with it. Even if the rock comes through the side, I think that's fine. Yeah, that covers that whole strip, but then one up in the front probably finishes it. Maybe like right here next to the entrance in the rock. Can you clip to the path, please? Thank you. Perfect. %100% coverage. Bathrooms. So we got no bathroom in the front. We got bathrooms in the back. I'm thinking... I think I'm okay with putting a bathroom right here, like right next to the parking lot. I think that is logical. So we do need to like reconfigure the path there maybe. What bathroom did they use when they built this map? They did use a park bathroom, so we are going to use a park bathroom. Yeah, there's not really any other space for it up here in the front. I think it kind of has to go outside. I could put it like here. What happened here? The terrain's kind of weirded out. I think that's fine for a bathroom. Oh, this is fixed. I guess that was only while I was building something.
The strongest, most dominant animal in a pack tends to take the role of alpha, of leader. It seems that hierarchy of the strong is taking place here too.
Maybe if I put one here, that'll provide a little bit better coverage on bathrooms at least. Because it's closer to this segment at least. 2%? No, 100%. Okay, cool. Alright, micros are still pissed. Wait. No, you're not. Dryos are pissed. Missing ground leaf. What happens when Junior outgrows his stadium? He won't. It'll come close. He might not be at full comfort, but he can stay in the stadium. Specifically because he's humble, which is why we made sure to make him humble. Is it cheating to force humble? Well, it's the only way the park build works, so I don't think it's cheating. Oh man, look at all the dudes actually out here looking for snacks. That's actually shockingly effective. Still a shit exhibit, like a shit attraction overall, but at least it's doing something. Okay, hype seas are missing wetland. We killed too much wetland. Oops. Okay, we're good, but we do have more animals flying in. Storm is over. Let's get those shelters open. Cash check. $6 million. Excuse me? Excuse me, what? Okay, money is not a problem. There. I guess the amenities are doing all right. Well, this one's not even in use. I wish this was more immediately readable. It really does suck trying to parse that at a glance. But JWE3 mechanic working as intended. That's a little harsh. It's not inaccurate, but it's a little harsh. How would I make Hadrosaurs and Sauropods defend themselves? I mean, I would just make them defend themselves, right? I mean, all they have to do is kick things. You got kicked by a Hadrosaur, your bones would turn to sand, probably. Same with a Sauropod. Alright, these guys are all good to go. Wait, are these... Oh, that's just not in the territory. Do these use small nest? These are medium. Why is dry... Whoops, oh my god, what did I just do? Control Z. Okay, I think I killed a rock. These guys are medium, which seems insane. No requirements. Okay, I'm just gonna assume the micros will eventually find a nest. I'm not gonna put another small nest in here. I mean, should we make sure they're small? They gotta be, right? Small, okay. All right, great. Cool. Cool. Okay, let's end this episode here. Next time we get the rest of the animals out, and then we focus on breeding up to 5 stars, basically. I mean, that's the concept of the park, right? Maybe it's 2 episodes and we're done.